So it all started many moons ago, when all of a sudden our pirates woke up and someone had napalmed Golden Sand and a few other islands in what was essentially green gas. Golden Sands took the hardest hit, and it was revealed that the Servant of Flame was behind it. Following his father's orders, his father being Flameheart, massive reveal, Servant of Flame is Flameheart's son, like we didn't know this already. The Servant of Flame and the Reapers were placing dark relics and boxes of wondrous secrets around the islands, which turned out to be mini portals to the Sea of the Damned, which were releasing this gas and also releasing Soul Flame captains, and we were tasked to kill these spectral enemies. But as it turns out, killing these Soul Flame captains was playing directly into the agenda of the Reapers and Flameheart. By doing so, with each one killed, it broke down the walls between the Sea of the Damned and a living world, allowing Flameheart to bring forth fortresses from the Sea of the Damned into the real world, complete with phantoms now loyal to his agenda. These forts were also used to capture members of Golden Sand's outpost, including Wanda, who was the sister of the Warsmith, a human-turned-skeleton who was loyal to Flameheart. His intention was to force her to work for him, by cursing her the same way as her sister. However, thanks to us pirates, we managed to free the members of Golden Sands and stop this from happening. But with these walls between worlds being torn down, a forgotten enemy emerged, now with a new member of her crew. But it wasn't just Golden Sands that Flameheart was after. He was also on the hunt for 3 gems known as Veilstones, which essentially have the power to permanently tear down the walls between the 2 worlds. But in order to use these stones, an ancient artifact known as the Mask of the Veil needed to be recovered so that these 3 stones could be placed within it. As it turns out, Merrick actually knew a lot more than people were led to believe, and knew of the existence of this mask lying within the belly of a beast, which had also given this beast the power to willingly travel between the worlds, the Shrouded Ghost, aka the Lies. So with the help of Merrick, his ship, and Belle, we lured the beast and retrieved the mask from within its belly. And unrelated to the adventures, shortly after was the release of The Legend of the Veil, where we were tasked to retrieve these stones before the forces of Flameheart could, and we succeeded, with the mask and the stones in the Pirate Lord's possession. Now, with the rifts between the worlds put at bay, Merrick and friends decided to rebuild Golden Sands to its former glory, and thanks to the efforts of the community, they succeeded, and Golden Sands began its renovation. But during all of this, another evil was lurking. It seems the knowledge of the beast wasn't all that Merrick knew, and without warning, he was murdered by an unfamiliar masked stranger. This masked stranger was on the search for her own way to traverse between the worlds for her own agenda, or rather, the agenda of those she worked for. The Dark Brethren. When the worlds were torn asunder, she was trapped here. With only a chest of wondrous secrets to communicate with her brethren, she hatched a plan to craft a talisman that could create instant travel between the worlds. It turns out that the eyes within the Gold Hoarder's skull were actually Veilstones, and combining the power of those stones with a staff of dark tides, she was able to travel back to her brethren and also return whenever she wanted, but not before revealing her true identity: Aramanta, an ex-sea dog. The reason for Merrick's death became obvious after she fled back to her domain within the Sea of the Damned. The Dark Brethren had captured Merrick's spirit and held him captive within a dark version of the Sea Dog's tavern, conjured from the memories of Aramanta. And there, Merrick was tortured for information about what he knew. But the Pirate Lord, now with the Veilstones and the mask in his possession, was able to open a portal to their domain for us to stage a rescue. Thankfully, we succeeded. However, we're still unsure of what information they were trying to get from Merrick, or whether or not he actually told them. But now, with the walls between worlds sealed for Flameheart, the Servant of Flame needed to think up other ways to resurrect his father, and Belle discovered that a prophecy known as the Herald of Flame was approaching, where an ancient evil will return. Worried about what could happen if this prophecy were to come true, she sought the help from her allies, the Ancients, who until this point were presumed dead. Together with the help of us pirates and the help of the Ancients, we recovered the remains of their ancient warrior and began to resurrect him. But But during this ceremony, the forces of Flameheart were watching and learned of this resurrection and adapted it to their own agenda. Stitcher Jim, who had been missing for some time, was given the honor of becoming the Herald of Flame, and with his newfound power was supposed to resurrect Flameheart, or as far as we were led to believe. As it turns out, Stitcher Jim was being used, and once again Flameheart fooled us. By destroying the Herald of Flame and recovering its skull, and using similar knowledge used to resurrect the Ancient Warrior, Flameheart was able to be placed back within his decaying body. In order to do so, it turns out that the Phantom Fortresses had more use than we were led to believe. They were summoned in a certain pattern, which when charged with dark relics could siphon a soul out of or into the Sea of the Damned. With this knowledge, Pendragon made a sacrifice. With his soul now tethered to the Sea of the Damned, the pirates within the lands had a choice: charge these fortresses in his name and set him free, banishing Flameheart forever, or charge them in the name of Flameheart, setting Flameheart free and banishing Pendragon forever. The forces of evil won, and Pendragon was banished, allowing Flameheart's forces to begin the summoning ritual, where Flameheart will one day stand in his former glory. Outside of this storyline, an innocent tavern keeper at Ancient Spire, inspired by the childhood stories of a pirate named Briggsy, found clues within one of Briggsy's journals to an ancient treasure. Enticed by this, she ventured out to locate it. However, on her return, she discovered that this talisman was not to be trusted, cursing her with the Skeleton Plague. The Order of Souls came to Tasha's aid by imbuing Briggsy's mask with her memories, in the hopes that a cure for this plague could be found. During our travels, however, Briggsy's memories began to become self-aware, and in the process created a phantom version of Briggsy, a copy, if you will. But before we got the answers we could seek, the Dark Brethren showed up, bargaining with Briggsy. In return for a cursed cannonball that could fend off the plague, Briggsy must come with them to locate a temple within the Sea of the Damned that held a cure for the curse. Briggsy agreed because with this cure, Tasha and other pirates could be cured of this plague. But why the Dark Brethren need this cure is yet to be seen. Oh, yeah, and then a fake pirate lord stole Pendragon's sword.
'Cause he's all evil and shit.